Hey guys, welcome to my channel and welcome to Vintage Classics, where I look at some discontinued and vintage pedals. So today we're looking at the Boss OD-2 Turbo Overdrive. Now, despite being called the OD-2, it is quite a different pedal to the OD-1, which basically started the first overdrive based on op amps, and similar to the Tube Screamer that came after it from Ibanez. So that uses op amps. It originally used a four op amp design, like the chip had 4 op amps in it. Then it went to the dual op amp, like the 4558, which is in the Tube Screamer, and the SD1. Now the OD-2 doesn't use op amps. It uses a completely different circuit that ended up in the OD-3 and the Blues Driver. So this is a made in Japan model. There's also a made in Taiwan model, and this was discontinued years ago and replaced with the OD-3. So what we've got is level, tone, drive, and then 2 modes, normal and turbo. Much like the Boss Turbo Distortion, which is still in production, the 2 modes kind of change gain levels and give you a different sound with turbo. One thing to note is, due to the different circuit, there wasn't a lot of volume. So shortly after the OD-2, there was the OD-2R, which fixed this by adding a recovery gain circuit, and it also allowed you to switch between turbo and non-turbo modes. So this is the older OD-2, and as you can see, I already have the level up here. Now I'm using my Parenti T-Type. There's a video on my channel about this guitar, if you want to check that out, and I'm running into my Frenzel as per usual. I'm going to play some clean tones, and I'm going to turn the amp up a bit to show it as a booster. Even though it can't boost volume, it's a decent gain boost. So we'll go through the pedal from the lower gain settings all the way up to the high gain turbo settings. So this is my clean tone. And that's using the bridge pickup. So let's put this on. So as you can hear, it kind of gives a sort of Marshall-less mid-range crunch, but doesn't change the tone too much. What I like about it on low gain settings is it doesn't change the pick attack too much. So I'm just going to change the tone and bring the volume up a bit. Go back to the clean again, and we'll go to the neck pickup. So the problem with rolling the gain down to 0 is you just don't have the volume to, compensate. And you kind of just lose a bit of that high end there. You could use a booster after this pedal to make up for it if you did want to use it as a low gain, but I think as you start to reach the medium gain it's much better. So let's just go everything cool. So let's go back to the normal mode. That was on the turbo mode then. And we'll pretty much have the same setting. And I'll switch back and forth, and then we'll go into the territory with the gain up a little bit more. You can see in normal mode it is a lot more transparent. Still has that Marshall mid-range kind of thing going on. Well, that's what I hear, a Marshall mid-range. And yeah, you got a little bit more high-end, less kind of low-end girth. So let's go 12 o'clock like I said before, but with the level up here, non-turbo. And now I'm just going to show you kind of how the tone control goes, so you can really thicken it up. So you can get really spiky and kind of a lot of pick attack with the tone up all the way. And that's kind of what I like about the non-turbo mode, is you've got that pick attack that a lot of distortion pedals and overdrive pedals you tend to lose. Like with tube screamers I tend to find you lose a bit of pick attack. And that's kind of what people want, but I like it in there. So let's just max it out. Gain wise on the normal. Switch the neck pickup. So most of the noise you can hear is actually just coming from the single coils. Like any overdrive, it does boost noise, but it's pretty good. So that's, you know, gain cranked up with my tuner on, so you can't hear my guitar. It's not too bad. So let's move to the turbo mode. So what you heard before in the turbo mode was this setting. So let's bring the gain up a little bit. Tone. So as you can hear, it's definitely that cranked kind of amp sound, like way more gain than a Tube Screamer or, you know, Super Overdrive has, and more low end and kind of punch to it. Now as we raise the gain, it does get a bit cardboardy sounding, so we'll go from down here. So as you can hear, it gets pretty fizzy up there. I don't really like it, you know, past here on the drive control. So last but not least, I'm gonna whack the gain up on my amp a little bit. More of a kind of Marshall-y crunch tone. We'll go back to turbo 1, max the level out, and just use it as a boost. Cool, so that was the OD-1. I've also got a Taiwanese one, so I'm going to do a one-by-one comparison, put them on the same settings, and see how they differ. Now, they're not known for being that different, this model from the Taiwanese from the Japanese, so we'll just see how that goes. Unlike the DS1, which changed dramatically from the original Japan to the post-2001 Taiwanese ones. So don't forget to like and subscribe and stick around. I got some more old pedals coming up. I've got some more Boss stuff and a couple of other little treats, so stick around for them. Thanks again.